Welcome to Mindfully Integrative Podcast with your host, Dr. Damaris G. Mindfully Integrative is a podcast discussing ways toward mindfully incorporating integrative health into our lives. This podcast will have informative resources, fun topics, interviews, and discussions relatable for today with a true mindful perspective in a mind-body, holistic life approach.
Does this go on YouTube as well?
Hi, how are you? This is Dr. Damaris Maria Grossman, and this is the Mindfully Integrative Show. And today is our wonderful mindful chat with hypnotherapist Victoria Gallagher. She is an amazing woman, and she is a world-renowned hypnotherapist. She has wonderful things to discuss with you, courses, an app, and an array of other integrative ways for you to help with your health. So thanks so much, Victoria, for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here, meet you, meet your audience. Thank you.
Thank you again. And so I do say, what's something that people don't know about you, a little fun or entertaining fact about you?
Yeah. Well, I would say the first thing that comes to my mind is like from the time I was a little girl, I wanted to be a singer. And so I love to sing. I go out and I do karaoke. And that was like literally what I wanted to be when I grew up. And so it's kind of interesting that I grew up being a hypnotherapist who makes a lot of recordings, because in a way I kind of consider that singing in a way, just in a different
In a guided
different
way,
room,
yeah.
in a guided way.
But your voice is maybe just more subtle.
Exactly.
So you're still bringing out a message.
Yeah, and I wanted to use my voice to help people change their lives, and that's exactly what I do.
That's pretty amazing. So I would love to know, how did you come into hypnotherapy? And how did you kind of realize that this was where you wanted to transition for yourself and then for others?
It was really kind of this story about that. Like, I had no idea that hypnotherapy was going to be anything that I was going to ever pursue. Pretty much from the time I was 18 is when I first started learning about hypnotherapy. I read this book called Total Self-Confidence. And I mean, I read it cover to cover, highlighted every single word. I was just really, really into it. The book being called Total Self-Confidence kind of clues you into the fact that I, kind of had a little bit of a rough childhood. You had a little bit of lack of confidence issues. So this book, it's really similar in a lot of ways. It's kind of like that old timey kind of book, new thought type of material, like a Think and Grow Rich, or like The Power of Positivity. And, it really helped kind of set me on my my personal development path. But I took a little detour. I became a stockbroker when I was about in my 20s. And, during the time I was doing all of that, I was achieving a lot of success. I was achieving a lot of goals. I was earning six-figure income. I was married, had a house, had a nice car, had everything going for me. I was, on a really, really good path. But I just kind of started falling apart and sort of feeling like a lot of anxiety. I went to a therapist and, to deal with the anxiety and the stress and everything that I was going through, the depression. And she had recommended me to this 4-day personal development seminar called Psi Seminars. And so I went to this 4-day seminar, completely did a 180-degree turn. I had decided during that seminar that I just kind of had, I had an awakening, and I had decided that, fast forward to like a few months after that, like I didn't want to do the stockbroker thing anymore. And I wanted to help people to transform their life. And I didn't know exactly what that was going to look like, but I figured out that I wanted to create these recordings that I would sell online on a website, which seemed like a completely ridiculous idea at the time, because that was like in 1998. when the internet was really just coming on the scene. People weren't really taking out their credit cards and buying things online as much as they are these days. And I didn't know exactly what these recordings were going to be called, like if it was going to be like visualizations or meditations or what it was. And I was just kind of like looking for a way to validate, like, what is it that I do? How can I really help people to change their lives with these recordings? And that's when I stumbled upon a hypnotherapy course that was, being presented just down the street from where I lived, a certification course in Las Vegas where I lived. And I just immediately, I said, that's it. And I signed up. I became certified. And within 6 months, I was, on my way, and, went through some pretty interesting struggles to get that business up and running. It, took a little while, but in 1999, July of 1999, I quit my 6-figure a year job as a stockbroker and started seeing clients and created the website, and kind of the rest is history.
That's amazing. Wow. You really must have seen an array of individuals, and obviously it's made income for you, but also beyond just, the monetary aspect, the just the fulfillment. I mean, you're not just an hypnotherapist, but you're an author, you're an entrepreneur, you have your own app. I mean, that's quite amazing.
Yeah. And it didn't all come at once. It was quite an evolution.
Okay. How is, like, you mean in the sense of like 5 years, 10 years, you said 90. So more than that. So 20 years in the making. Hello?
Oh, you're back. You're back. Are we back?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So it all started off, actually, my very, very first set of recordings I put together. It was an assignment for the hypnotherapy class to actually create a recording. And I always, like, kind of am an overachiever. So I couldn't just create like one little weight loss cassette. And we are talking about cassettes at the time. At the time, I decided to come up with this comprehensive 12-session program called the Stress Management Workshop. And it was, it was like $15,000 to put together this whole, cassette program, dealing with all the different sides of yourself, and, all the different ways that we get stressed and how to ultimately overcome it. And then I realized, after that, you need to actually do a little bit of market research before coming out with a product like this, because no one at the time they even cared about stress management.
Until now. I mean, I would say
yeah.
now they do, but probably, I guess back then, no.
Back then, yeah, I had all of these. So anyway, so it was like, just really learning along the way. And so after that little episode, I just kind of started creating, one session at a time, and really developing the website, which, is still around. It's hiptalk.com. But I always knew that I wanted to offer people like some sort of a subscription service where they could get access to, because they don't, once you resolve like one issue, you kind of realize all of the many benefits there are to hypnotherapy. And you realize, oh my God, it could be used for confidence and motivation, weight loss, and quitting smoking, and on and on and on. There's just so many different things. And actually it evolves over time. I mean, there's things that I create these days that you would have never even thought about way back in the day, that, new problems that people are dealing with these days. There's always new, issues that that people have and evolve over time, or just new different kinds of goals. I mean, people that weren't talking about manifesting and law of attraction way back in the day. And, that's actually where I've kind of found myself specializing, is helping people with manifesting success in their business. And that's something obviously very near and dear to my heart. And so, it really does come down to, getting your mind in alignment with what you want. And so, long story short, it's been kind of an evolution. It eventually evolved into, oh, I want to create online courses. Oh, I want to create an app. Oh, I want to create a seminar and write books. And before you knew it, now I've got like this huge personal development empire, which is, pretty cool.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you have a lot of individuals helping you along the way.
I do, definitely. I work with a lot of freelancers on Upwork and virtual assistants. And that was one of the things, though, definitely I wish I had learned about way early on in my career, because it took me a good little while to start to reach out and hire people for things like that.
I've been more and more appreciating virtual assistants and that I've had available, and those editors and such.
Oh my goodness. So. I mean, I was like my own audio engineer, my own website developer, my own, literally.
Yeah, I get it. I totally understand. As an entrepreneur, always trying to do something. Yeah, I feel like there's always some part which, you want to have the control over, but then it's like you can't do everything, and you want to make sure what you're good at is being, appreciated.
Exactly.
So from stockbroker to hypnotherapist certification, and, where you're now making unbelievable impact for individuals. Was there something in your life that just was like exhausting that made you transition? Was it just like, I can't do this anymore? Or was it just, you knew you needed something different? That's what made you change.
When I was a stockbroker, for the first 6 years of that, I really enjoyed it and I loved what I was doing. And then one day I kind of realized I was like, sleeping in one morning, and I was like, just don't want to go to work. I don't want to go to work. And I just couldn't seem to just get myself to do it. And that's when I just kind of realized I was really burnt out on it. And I really was in kind of a flux when I realized that, because I mean, number one, I chose the path of not getting a college degree, and the job that I had actually required a college degray, but I was able to manifest that job anyways.
That's amazing. Great.
And, but it kind of was leaving me with this disheartened feeling of like, well, if I, how am I going to, I don't even know what to do. Like, I don't even know what I would do if I didn't do this. So it didn't even cross my mind. I just knew I had to fix whatever was going on inside of me to make me want to go back to work again, and want to get up on time, and want to go, just go through that daily grind. And I just kind of had this mindset that like I would will myself back into that feeling. But then when I went to that seminar and I kind of got in touch with the truth and got some self-awareness, I realized that it's just not for me anymore. And I want to live my life doing exactly what I want to do. I want to feel in alignment with going into work. And that, really that wake-up call was really the best thing that ever happened to me. It was scary to face that, but it was really the best thing that ever happened to me, because I knew that somehow my life was going to be all about helping other people to really avoid ever getting into that situation again, because so many people, I think you you don't really choose, from a clear, true place, what is that you really want to be when you grow up. You get influenced by people all around you. Your parents tell you, oh, you need, don't pursue your creative path because there's no money in that. And you get all this influence, and people don't really believe in your dreams. So you don't even really allow yourself to dream. And so that's what I really like to allow people to do, is to get in touch with what it is that they really, really want for themselves. So they don't get into a situation where they're just feeling that stuck feeling of working in something that they are doing at some point just purely because it pays a lot of money, or pays the bills.
Yeah.
And so many people get stuck there. And, and so I really, really, truly believe that you do what you love and the money will follow. And when you really believe that, when you really do have that belief, then that's exactly what will happen for you.
I agree with you. I feel like and then it's learning to unstuck some old behaviors that people may have, because financial health is part of the equation, right? So if people start living with less, or modifying what they've had, and deciding what is more important, their happiness, or so that it equates to a better, healthier life,
Exactly. And I chose at that time, I just said, I don't even care how much money I make. I just want to do what I want to do, and make other people happy in the process.
Mm-hmm. And then it kind of went from there. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like the more doors open, even for my end, when I'm going with growth and helping, and stop worrying about everything else, the other parts.
Exactly.
So I love for you to tell people how they can get a hold of you. I'll have all your show notes and links in the show notes, but I'd love for them to reach out to you.
Oh, sure. So my main website is victoriamgallagher.com. And so on that website, it's kind of like the portal to it all. You can find my books, Practical Law of Attraction, and all the other books that I've written. You can get into my hypnosis recordings, which are on hiptalk.com. You'll end up, you can go to my courses that are on personalgrowth.com. And then my new app, it's actually not a new app. It's the same app, but we're in the process right now of doing a massive, massive upgrade on this app to where, we're going to be actually offering a lot of the courses will be available in the app. There'll be live events in the app. There'll be, just all kinds of like reward points that you can accumulate and cash in for rewards. And, it's really, really cool. There's like over 500 hypnosis sessions in the app. And so we're going to be relaunching, re-releasing under a new name, new brand and everything. And it's just going to be amazing. So anyway, you can get access to all that over at victoriamgallagher.com.
That's so cool. I can't wait for people to reach out and get into and if they check out your app, you have, your subscriptions there. So, and you were saying if they get into the lifetime soon, you have a lifetime one, it's going away. So those, if they really want to learn more, get in soon.
Yeah, we have, there's free sessions, and then there's the subscriptions that's monthly and annual, but we still have a lifetime that, like you said, that's going away. So if you want to take advantage of that now, then that it would be good to do that, because the app is going to be launched like early fall, like right about the second week of October.
Great. And I'd love to know if just a small tip that you'd like to leave. I know you've done so many recordings, but would you like to leave just a small thought for the audience before you go?
Absolutely. I would say the small thought, the small thought
is not really small, but a little advice.
Yeah. the thing that I think I wish I would have learned early on as I was pursuing my dreams, number one is just to dream as big as you possibly can dream, because any idea, anything that is conceivable, it is there for a reason, and it comes with the seed to bring it into fruition. You may not know the exact way how that's going to happen. All you need to do is allow yourself to dream big enough and forget about the how. As you believe it, you will receive insights, intuition, ideas, connections, resources, everything. And then, it's really just up to you to take those risks, to put yourself out there and know that it's all within you, that you have the power to do anything that you can possibly imagine. And, and allow support, allow yourself to be supported by people and the universe, and it's all possible.
Thank you for giving us some words of hope and making the impossible possible.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
And thank you again. And those listening, enjoyed. I appreciate you coming on to the Mindfully Integrative Show, and make sure you find a mindful way every day.
Thank you for listening to the Mindfully Integrative Show with Dr. Damaris Maria Grossman, family nurse practitioner. This podcast is for informational and educational purposes only and is not to substitute for professional medical advice, diagnose, or treat. Always consult your healthcare provider before making changes to your healthcare routine. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. If you enjoyed our show, please support us by leaving a mindful review on Apple Podcasts or your favorite streaming platform. Interested in being a guest or more information? Email us at info@mindfullyintegrative.com. For resources mentioned in the show, visit our website at www.mindfullyintegrative.com. You can also connect mindfully with Dr. Damaris on her social media links found on the site. May your strength and peace guide you to find a mindful way every day. Namaste.